All right, all right, all right. We're live. We're live.
Hey, what's up? Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you? How have you
Ah,
been?
everything's cool. Everything's cool here. You know
Nice.
how it is in the life of a vegan.
Yeah, yeah,
Always thinking, why does this have milk powder, and why is this cheap?
yeah. Everything. Yeah, you know how it is.
All right, so let's see who's in the live chat. John Doe. Right, awesome. Revolta269, that's my friend.
Oh, hello.
Ali is here. On break for 15 minutes. Ah, all right. So Vegan for Kindness is here too. Cool. Rich, the Vegan Pundit. Who else is here? All right, all right. Okay. Yeah, Christspiracy. Are you gonna? Have you watched those documentaries, the Seaspiracy, Cowspiracy, those documentaries or not?
No, no, not yet. But I've seen several other ones.
All right. But you
Yeah,
should, like those documentaries, those are really good. But they're making this Christspiracy now.
Christ Piercy. What's it about? Or
I think it's about the misconceptions of like religious people with they're always quoting the Bible like, oh, God said that animals are ours to eat and stuff
yeah,
like.
but where? I, I've heard that before, but I always think like, where is that in the Bible? I never read it.
Yeah, I don't remember reading that, and in fact, I started reading the Genesis again to see what was there,
Yeah,
and in the first lines it says, "And God gave man
yeah,
vegetables and fruits to eat."
yeah, yeah.
And I was
That's what I
like,
always like. Where
okay.
where do you get that from? Yeah,
Right, exactly.
that,
Exactly. Oh, Martin Kevin is here too. Psychedelic vegan. All right. Hello, peoples. Hey, everyone in the chat. How's the audio coming on? Is it good? Are you listening to the thing?
can you
Yeah,
hear me good?
just
Good,
chatting to themselves.
good. I hope my audio is good.
Yeah, you sound good. You sound good. So, right. So, yeah, no, those documentaries they're really good. In fact, when I watched Cowspiracy, that was the thing that I was like, no, I gotta go vegan now. Like,
But is it like slaughtering cows and stuff, or
let's see, you went out for a second there. Okay,
oh,
it's back. Yeah, it's about that. I mean, it's more about the environmental aspect, but it does have some of the more moral implications of what we do to the animals and all these things.
yeah, yeah,
Right. So I don't know if you remember this, but it was like it was it last year because we for the people in the chat we have this group. In fact, Andres here was I think your name disappeared or something. I don't know.
Andre-
Yeah, we were in a band together, in a rock band and everything. That's how we met.
yeah,
Back
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
Back in Venezuela, 10 years
yeah,
ago, maybe. Yeah,
yeah, like 12 years ago, something like
yeah,
that. It was crazy, right?
yeah,
And right, right. And then we had this group chat in WhatsApp about music and talking about our favorite music and whatnot. And we were talking about, I don't know if you remember, we were talking about social media and all the suggestions that you get all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. The ads and stuff.
Yeah, so I mentioned in passing, like, hey, since I went vegan, I get all these, rotisserie chicken or
Yeah,
ribs and stuff in my suggestions, and it's really annoying. And then we started talking in private about it and the whole thing.
yeah.
But
Because I was surprised because I never knew like you were like at all thinking about not eating meat or something. Because in Venezuela, you like we ate meat like nothing. So
right,
it's like
yeah,
burgers, hot dogs, whatever. So
yeah, I remember.
it
Yeah,
was kind of weird.
I do remember that time. In fact, in your house was the first time I ever tried the pizza with green peppers.
Oh, really?
I had never had green peppers
Why
in my
you were
life.
like, no, that's too much veggies or what?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, no, 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 that green thing, what is that? But then when I
Nah,
tried, I was like, hey, this green pepper thing, yeah, yeah.
maybe give it a try.
And I did like the green pepper. And in fact, basically, yeah, it became one of my favorite things. The green bell pepper, yeah, for sure. But yeah, we did have those times when we ate, all kinds of things with animal products because that's what Venezuelans do.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if like the term vegan it's known in Venezuela at all. It might be, but I'm not sure. If you're there and ask for like, hey, do you have vegan options? They're gonna be like, oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think the vegan option in Venezuela is like rat or something.
yeah, yeah,
I don't think they know. No, but it is more like it's becoming known. It's becoming known
yeah,
now. There's Venezuelan vegans for sure, but it's more difficult because all the. I mean, not more difficult to be vegan, but like to talk about these things in Venezuela is a little bit more with everything that's going on there. I don't think many people will pay too much attention to that. People are more
yeah,
like either partying all night or going to drink or something. Or the ones with money, obviously, and then the ones
yeah,
with no money, or they're just thinking of their. They're not thinking.
yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. And back then we didn't even know. Like I knew about veganism back then, but I wasn't paying much attention to it. And
Oh,
we
okay,
never
okay.
really consider anything like that. When we would hang out together, we were always, it's like
Yeah, yeah. Like, hey, do you
watching
have vegan
movies and
burger? Yeah,
yeah, yeah, watching movies and stuff and eating. And yeah, no one paid a thought to that. But
yeah,
yeah, years later, and that happened, and yeah, I went vegan, and yeah, now we are here. And I want to know, like, because I think you told me something about your family being like vegetarian from a
yeah.
young age or something like that. That you were at least
My dad
that.
was a vegetarian. Well, still a vegetarian since 1989, so long, long
Okay,
time ago. And my sisters became vegan like 4 years ago.
all right,
So
all right,
yeah. Oh,
all right.
brother as well. He's vegetarian.
All right, so you have a vegetarian dad and brother and two
Yeah,
vegan sisters.
yeah, exactly. I'm the only one that's still.
And you're the only one that's still abusing animals for no reason at all?
I guess. Yeah, I guess for convenience. I guess, but yeah, I'm aware that it's not the best thing to do,
Right.
and we can do better for sure.
Right, no, of course. And what has happened to that? Have you thought about it more? What are your
Yeah,
thoughts on the whole thing? Have you researched anything or what is it
yeah.
about?
I'm still like trying to, but the way I like, I don't know, maybe it's an excuse like calls me skeptic, but the way people live here in the United States, like the fast pace, you always like I feel like I haven't prepared much to become vegan. Like, okay, what am I gonna eat today? Do I have to prepare the food the day before and stuff like that? Because like it's not that cheap to just get whatever junk food vegan, but it's kind of cheap to just get whatever to fill your stomach, like a I don't know, a burger or something like that. So right now it will be like convenience, but it shouldn't be that way in the long term.
Right. But I mean, that's interesting because obviously I live here too in the
Yeah,
States,
yeah,
in the neighbor city of Houston, you're in Austin over there. And I don't know, I feel like, I mean, Austin, I've never been there, but they tell me that Austin is kind of different from all the Texan cities and stuff. Like, there's much more things happening there. People are more, less Texan and more like open to stuff.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Let's be
there are a
like
lot of
traditionally
vegan
Texan.
options, but like I said, they're not like that cheap, and it's not like you can just go to the corner and just get it and keep going to work or something.
I mean, here is kind of that way. I go out of the apartment and all I see is, the usual suspects,
Yeah,
KFC,
what a burger.
Panda Express, what a burger. Yeah. Man, I like everything. Every time I see that freaking W, I'm like, "Grr."
Yeah, but do you plan ahead every day your meal the day before, or just the day it
I
happens?
mean,
You
I'll
just
tell you my meal, bro. I just eat pasta
okay.
and, pasta, bread. Sometimes it's chickpeas. Sometimes it's like some veggies. I just get frozen veggies, put them in
Okay.
a frying pan, defrost them wherever it is, and heat them up, and put some spaghetti sauce or something, and yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
and
that's
for the
it.
protein, do you eat like beans or something like that, or
I mean,
like
beans,
chickpeas?
chickpeas, and stuff like that. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
I went through a phase where I was eating peanut butter almost every day. I didn't even
Really?
like peanut butter, but when I became vegan, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's like I went obsessed with peanut butter. It's like, what the heck?
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously nutritional yeast. You know that's the vegan law. You have to put that nooch on everything.
Yeah, my sister always like on everything. I don't even know what that is, but I guess it's
Well,
very nutritional.
yeah, you gotta try that nooch for sure.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
freaking awesome. Yeah, and yeah, it's something. So yeah, mostly that, and of course, I do get some of those veggie burgers and stuff. Like it's not that. I mean, if you do your grocery shopping, it's basically kind of amounts to the same. It could be kind of more expensive by a few dollars, but in reality, if you compare that to, for example, yeah, going out to eat to whatever it is, it could be Whataburger or whatever, any of those places.
Yeah, yeah.
To realize that buying the veggie burgers and the bread and stuff to make it at home is way cheaper than than getting a like a combo at one of those places.
Yeah.
Because you eat once for like more than $10 or something, like you get a combo, it's like I don't know, it's crazy now. It's like I don't know, anything around $11, something like that. I don't know, 11, 12, something. I don't know. Depends on the price, the place, or anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, you can plan ahead, and even if you don't, it's like there's ready-made stuff. There's hummus, obviously.
Yeah.
It's another crazy thing that I just cannot give up. The hummus.
Hummus.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
But so you usually don't plan ahead like whatever you're eating the next day or something.
I mean, I don't do much planning. And to work, sometimes I just take either some apple or something like that. Something like to just take a bite or something while I'm working. Because I realize if I take like anything that could be microwavable or something, I don't even use a microwave anymore.
Oh, okay.
I just
That's
cook
good.
everything at home and that's it. I don't even use a microwave. So I try not to take anything that could be microwave at work. Because I also found that if you eat like pasta or something like that at work, then you get this thing where you're like kind of sleepy or something, or at least me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, no, I don't want that sleepy
Rather
feeling
that.
at work. So I just take an apple or a banana or something.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and then yeah, exactly. So then it's not really that difficult, and then when we consider other stuff, because it's not just like your convenience or something, but it's also like the animals who are the victims of this
Yeah.
horrible thing.
That's the main
So
thing. Yeah, yeah.
obviously, being an animal is way worse than just going to the supermarket and getting a bag of
Ye-
broccoli or something.
Yeah. If I think that way, for sure I'll do it. But my mind sometimes is
Oh
to
yeah, that's the other
decide.
thing. My friend here, Revolta, is saying that texturized soy. That's another one. That's a really good one. That's more. That's in the cheap. It's really not that expensive, and it gives you all that protein. Obviously, tofu is packed with protein and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that thing. Yeah. Well, Ali apparently he has seen some of the documentaries, but
I start
no.
seeing the one that you recommend, but it was like a lot of murdering and slaughtering, so I kind of stopped. But
Which
yeah,
one?
it was.
A Dominion.
Yeah, I think yeah,
You
that one.
watched that one and you
I
stopped.
I tried to, but then I was like, this is too much.
I mean, it is too much, but that's exactly the
That's
point.
reality. Yeah, yeah.
You know that actually, when I went vegan, after I went vegan, I watched Earthlings, which to me it has to be like the most brutal of all. Like Earthling is like the top documentary that man, I had to stop every 20 minutes and then like take a walk, do something else.
But why did you see it then? Or
Well, because
or
I thought that I owed it to the animals. They
hmm.
were my victims too, so I owed it to them
Okay.
to see what the reality was.
Oh,
And I made myself watch it. I didn't even cover my eyes or anything at any point. I watched the entire thing. It was really horrible, but it's for the best because they deserve to be seen. I mean, if we can do it to them, why can't we see it?
yeah, at least.
So, and Dominion is kind of like that, but more modern, yeah, for sure. So it's more up to date. But the infuriating part is if you watch Earthlings, a documentary that was made in the early 2000s, it's still the same thing going on. It's still happening. All of that is still today happening. So there's not much that has changed really.
Yeah.
And every year more animals, get killed for food and other stuff. So it's not like it's stopping at any time.
But and you still think it's not like ethical to eat an animal that died for natural reasons, or why wouldn't be good to eat an animal that just died, and can you just eat it, or why not?
I mean, well, obviously, there's many reasons to consider
Yeah.
that it would be wrong. The first one is because obviously, if we're going to consider animals as the individuals that they are, we need to respect their memory just as we would any of our relatives or friends who
Yeah.
have passed away or something. I mean, we don't eat them. We don't
Yeah.
put them on a grill and make grandma burgers or something. No, we don't do that. So, so why would we do this to an animal? But then again, I would argue that there's no such thing as a natural death for example, for a cow or a chicken, given that those animals are man-made and they are brought into existence artificially just to be exploited and killed. So even if they escape, let's say a cow escaped a slaughterhouse or something, and they die on their own or whatever it is, it's still not a natural death, given that the animal itself is not natural. Like it's not that.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, but even then, is the other thing to consider is that obviously it's not healthy at all to just grab a corpse from the road.
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
like my first thought is not going to be, oh yeah, squirrel. Like, no, I don't think so. It's all kinds of, we could have already like larvae and flies and stuff, and who knows what's in there. Or it's already rotten or something. I don't know. So it's not the healthiest thing either. Even if you don't consider the moral part of it, it's like, yeah, no. Obviously, it's just a hypothetical that sometimes
Yeah.
people with eating a natural killed animal, but that's still disrespectful. I mean, yeah, it is disrespectful. I would say to just stay away, especially since we know what happens to older kind. Also, like most of them don't get to live or die that way. So I don't know. It's completely. I don't know. I wouldn't consider that like a vegan thing to do or vegan approved. Some, as you may know, some are like more these plant-based utilitarian dudes who are more into I don't know if you've seen them, but they're more like eh, they try to justify anything with some utilitarian arguments and stuff like that. Like, oh, if the animal was happy, or if the animal was playing, I don't know, video games, and then you kill them, like that
Oh
doesn't matter. Like, you killed me.
no.
Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't really follow that type of thinking that
Yeah.
you can do this thing in the best way possible. That's not really what it is. There's no best way possible.
Yeah. Sometimes I think like countries with very few like ways of eating, like what would you think about that? Let's say like an African country that they just have like animals to eat, but not just animals, but that animals is an option, and otherwise they might starve or something like that. What's your opinion on that? Like, still shouldn't be eating animals or
I mean, obviously, it's still morally wrong to take someone else's life for your own.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Even now, even in that situation, I mean, it's still morally wrong. It could become, I mean, it could be understandable that given their situations, which they didn't even ask for themselves,
yeah.
they are in a situation that may not be their own doing, and all they know, let's say they're in this village, and that's all they know, and they don't have any other uh, practical options available to them. It's not like they have communications with the outside or something like that. They're not going to do anything different because they don't know anything different. But
Okay.
it's still wrong. It's just they don't probably don't even know that is wrong, or don't have the luxury of thinking
Yeah.
about it. But one of the things with veganism is that once this thing becomes a global thing that everyone agreed on, and we have basically, let's say that the entire, let's say, modern world or something went vegan, it's gonna be more available everywhere anyway. Like there's not going to be
Yeah.
that much of a hassle even in more impoverished areas, which by the way are impoverished because of the animal agriculture. Because that's the other thing, in Africa and other places, they take their land to make fields to feed the cows and stuff, to
Oh,
grow
okay.
feed for cows and stuff. So these communities get displaced, their animals get displaced, and they get nothing from it. And these corporations, they bring these soy and wheat and whatnot to these countries, and they feed these things to the cows here. So it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's a whole system of evil, really. And those communities probably are not at fault. So for the time being, I wouldn't really fault them too much, but it's still morally wrong for
Still
sure.
wrong. Yeah, yeah. That's
I
right.
mean, it's just the same as but that's become popular, right? The crash, the Uruguayan team that crashed in the Andes. You know
Oh,
about it, right? Yeah.
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen
Yeah,
the
yeah. There's
movie
a
or.
show now. I guess it's a mini series or something called the
Okay.
Snow Society or something. The Society of the Snow.
Mm.
There used to be a movie back in the '90s with Ethan Hawke. It was called Alive or something like that. Something like that, yeah. And it was about the crash. And those people, it was a rugby team. They crashed in the Chilean mountains, and they had to resort to uh, to cannibalism basically to survive in the snowy mountains and stuff. So now, is cannibalism good or bad? Obviously, it's bad. It's
Yeah.
still morally like repugnant. But what were they going to do in that situation? It's not like they had much options. So it's still wrong, but it's understandable what they did. At least
Oh,
that's how I see it. And yeah, the people in the chat. Hi, vegans. Is AJ doing outreach? Yeah, some sort of outreach. Yes.
outreach. What's that?
Yeah, it's when you go and talk to people about veganism and
Oh,
whatnot,
okay,
what's
okay.
happening to the animals and stuff.
To the
But
public.
yeah, but instead of going out, I'm just sitting here talking to you
Okay.
and trying to see why are you such an unquote.
In reach instead of outreach.
Yeah, yeah, in reach. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Maybe I should call it that, in reach,
Mm.
because it's indoors. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, it's a movie, the Society of the Snow. Okay, I guess, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously, cannibalism is still wrong. It's just that what else were they going to do? Like, but
Yeah.
it must not have been an easy decision even to make.
Yeah.
But you know, it is
It
it's
is.
what they had to do. So yeah, I mean, obviously there's differences, but most enriched, yeah, enriched. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's the thing to consider. So that's the first thing. Like when you consider animals as the individuals that they are, and you consider that they want to live, they have their own purpose in life, not just to serve you, and then everything else comes really easy, and you don't think about that. Uh, Prior to going vegan, I used to say like, oh man, maybe I could stop eating meat, but I'm not going to start reading labels on things to see if it has this or that. And,
Yeah.
well, look at me, because the first week I went vegan, I was like this
Reading,
with the
reading.
packages, like, what the heck is this? Like that old lady meme with the computer and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Like, what is?
Like, yeah, like, what is this? No, like, yeah, that was me. I took like 1 hour to do the grocery shopping or whatever. I didn't care. I was like, I'm not going to buy any animal products, so I don't care. Even if I have to spend 3 hours here in the produce section or whatever, I'm gonna do it. I don't care.
And do you miss the taste of meat, or
Well, actually, it's kind of interesting because I really don't.
really?
I don't really miss it at all, and it's kind of weird. I mean, I do wish there were some Venezuelan vegan options out there,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's not like I miss the product itself because I already know what it is. So, for example, talking as a Venezuelan, like tequeños and stuff,
yeah,
burn them to hell. I don't want them. Like people can I can tell anyone where to shop those tequeños. Really, like pastelitos and stuff like that. I don't miss them at all because I know what they are. So I don't see them as the product anymore. I see the victim that's behind that, and
but
it
not even the
infuriates
taste.
me that Venezuelans just don't care at all about any
Yeah,
of that.
yeah,
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? So yeah, it's not something that I miss anymore, really, because there's nothing to miss. Like the whole thing repulsed me so much, especially at first, that I was just eating like tangerines and stuff. I was like, I don't trust anything. Everything is like, and even now, thinking about that, even tangerines may not be entirely vegan because they coat them with like a shining thing, but it's made from animals also.
oh, didn't know that.
It's like made from crustaceans and stuff like that, like from some sea animal. It's always something. Like you're always finding all the ways in which we exploit animals and for what reason, and it's
Yeah,
ridiculous. You're like, why would an apple or an orange need like a bright thing? Like you don't need to make it shinier to make it appealing. It's just ridiculous.
yeah,
It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I was trying to buy some oranges, those that come in like a bag, but it said in the label, it said that it was sprayed with those shiny thing. I was like, oh no, then I don't want it. Like,
yeah,
so yeah, I don't know. It's annoying, but it is it is what it is.
yeah,
But I don't know if you had more. You said something about you had some questions. I was
yeah. Well, I
something
have a
like that.
few still.
Yeah, yeah,
So
sure.
eggs, do you know, like if they don't get fertilized by the rooster, like chicken just laying eggs, will those be like still no good, or why would that be a no good to eat or not ethical?
I mean, because you're stealing from the hen, like you're stealing something that's, first of all, they're not producing it for humans. First of all, they're producing it for themselves, and
Okay,
even then, that it's just that you're stealing from someone. Like it's just that's the main point is that.
but
Then then we can
what?
talk about the production of the egg, because that eggs are produced with the calcium and stuff. So the hen loses calcium to produce eggs, and if they don't eat them themselves, then they can get calcium depletion. They get fractures. They get
So
so.
eggs usually like get eaten by the hens if we don't take them.
I mean, they would sometimes. I think they naturally eat those discarded eggs, so to speak, because they do need like the calcium themselves and stuff. But I'm not
Okay,
sure exactly how the whole thing works. But I do know that it belongs to them. So that's the first thing. Like that's all I need to really know. Like we take these hens, we only their only value to humans is what they produce, and that's terrible.
yeah, but if you're gonna throw it away, like still you won't eat it, or what would you do with the egg? It will just lay there
No,
forever.
absolutely nothing. I wouldn't do anything with the egg. Like if the hen doesn't want it or whatever, and it's going to rot or whatever, then just throw it away, or I don't know. But don't do
Oh,
anything. Like if you prepare an omelette with that, then what did you do? You just stole something, and you're just perpetuating the status of the animal as a vending machine or as some sort of the producer for you.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, food in the US is just poison. You are right, my friend. We don't eat food here. We eat chemicals
Chemicals. Yeah.
and rat poison, and that's what we eat. We eat rat poison. It's just colorful and stuff, but it's just terrible. Everything that we get here is banned in like 100 countries or
In
something.
Europe, yeah. It's like, why am I eating this that is banned?
Right? Even Fruit Loops. It's like Fruit Loops in here. They
Yeah.
You see the ingredients. It's crazy. You can't even pronounce half the stuff, and all of that is banned in Europe. And in Europe, Fruit Loops have like I don't know 5 ingredients or something. And here it's like a list of things you can't even say. Leave the egg where the egg decided to eat it, and then once it got rotten, nobody could eat the egg anyway. Yeah, exactly. Just leave it be. Like it's not yours really.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I don't know if you saw my video of the hen, the egg, the rescued hen, hypothetical and stuff.
No.
Because I
Oh,
do talk about it. Because I've seen others mention that. Well, what if your family is going to bake a cake and you have this rescued hen, and it's like, okay, you stop them from buying the eggs from a place, but where did they get the other ingredients?
still.
And they're still seeing this thing as a product, so it's still wrong. You're perpetuating, you're enabling them and telling them, hey, it's not wrong, is to take something from others, so that's, to me, that sends the wrong message. So I'm completely against any of that, like consuming anything from a rescued animal. I think it might even be worse
Than
because
just
they're
buying
supposed to
it.
be rescued,
Yeah.
and you're taking from them as it's like, I don't know, where's the rescue then? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also one of my sisters that's vegan, she said like she'll be okay if she eats cheese from a cow that she knows is not being like harmed while getting milk or something like that. I don't understand, but is that possible, or
I
like
mean,
cows just
the
produce
only
milk?
way that could be possible is if the cow meets the bull in like Cow Finder or something. They go on dates, they watch Netflix. One thing leads to another. They Netflix and chill. She gets pregnant, and the little baby cow is born. She's producing milk, and she says, "Hey, humans, take something from this." But I don't think it will happen. So, all the process to get the milk to make the cheese is absolutely not romantic. It's it's an abuse of power, and there's no way to get cheese from cow's milk or any other animal that's not an abusive relationship with them. Really,
Oh,
that,
okay.
that's what it is.
Yeah, and they're both vegan. I'm reading the comment. They're both vegan, but one of them said that, yeah, that, and I was like, how is that? And she was like, yeah, because it's just nature and like the cow's not suffering. But I was kind of skeptical about it.
Yeah. So no, so to your sisters, I would say that, like, to reconsider that notion, because it's an abusive relationship, and since they're ladies, they should be like more in tune with like what females, that female side of things, because cows, they're a woman from another species, and
Yeah,
they get horribly abused. It's always the females who get the worst of it.
but they won't get like, I don't know, but they won't get sick if they don't get like milked or something like the cows.
I mean, if they don't get milk, they get sick. Of course they do, but we did this to them on purpose because we wanted to steal their milk. So that cow wouldn't even be there in the first place if we didn't breed them into existence.
But what about cows that just exist out of our
But
like?
cows don't exist anymore. they exist in
Every
only
cow,
for us.
like all of the cows, or just some cows?
There might be some wild cows, but to my knowledge,
Pretty much.
basically all of them are just now in our hands because basically I don't think there's any more wild cows. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
we just
I
completely
never,
destroyed their species,
I
and,
never thought about that.
and they're all in farms now. They come from an ancient bovine or something that we bred into existence, and we transform it into these things. So now they're this mutant that doesn't even look like the thing they were at some point, you know.
Yeah,
So a friend of mine, vegetarian, she said that she'd eat a chicken if she's seen the one
she
killing
didn't
the
want
animals.
killing
Some
the
people
animal.
still see animals as products even when they think they're doing something good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing. So we have to consider that animals are individuals that just like us, they want to live and they don't owe us anything really. And we bring them into existence for that. So it's the first thing that we do. So it's all wrong from the start.
yeah,
And really, I don't have any problem like not eating cheese ever again. In fact, I sometimes buy some plant-based cheese or whatever, but not too often. First, because it's kind of expensive, and then I don't
yeah,
even want it. Like I really don't like. I don't know. I don't miss it at all. It's not something that I want.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're saying in the chat, like they just exist as livestock, basically, and it's dumb. It's like we've taken all these animals, like the hens, the chickens. They also used to be like a wild animal in the forest, but we
hmm,
modified them, and now they're this. A turkey can't even mate naturally now. They can't reproduce naturally because we created these mutant, overgrown mutants. So now they can't even. They lost even the ability to reproduce themselves. It's crazy.
yeah. And I was also listening to a video that was like, I'm not supporting it, but I was like, okay, what would be an argument for that? That being vegan is like the most bad thing you can do to animals, because to grow beans or whatever fruits, the person, like the farmers, have to kill like every squirrel, every like rabbit, every whatever animal that gets in the crops. So I was thinking, okay, how's that, like, is it true? And how can, because my whole point of being vegan is the to avoid suffering, kind of, in general. So I was thinking, okay, if they're saying this, I don't know if it's true or not.
Right.
How could that be?
I mean, there's several things to consider here. So that has become like some sort of a very popular anti-vegan uh, argument, but in reality, it's not because there's several things here. The first is that those crop dates aren't actually what they tell you. They try to paint a picture that when they're like harvesting or planting these crops or whatever, that they plow over, snakes and
Yeah,
squirrels
yeah,
and
that's what the guy said.
mice and this massacre of animals in the field doesn't actually happen. It wouldn't even be productive for the farmers to do something like that. So it's non-existent. Like now, there could be some animal that enters like the field or wherever, and of course the farmers could dispose of them or something like that. They could end up killing an animal by mistake, like by some accident with some machinery or something. This could happen, but it would not be something that is this massacre that they're trying to paint it out to be. But not only that, the other thing would be that when we know that the vast majority of crops are being grown to feed the animals that then you're going to kill and eat, then it becomes clear that blaming vegans for something that we're not even the the major player there is
Yeah,
the animal agriculture industries because they're the ones doing these things. So it doesn't even make sense to blame vegans for it. Also, when you take into consideration that plant agriculture and animal agriculture, they were created and developed by people who didn't care about animals at all. This wasn't done by vegans, and obviously they're not going to take the animal's best interest in mind when doing these things. So that's why we have like probably why we have these systems in the first place. They didn't really care about the animals or humans or anyone else, just about profit and stuff like that. So I would say these 3 points. The first is not that much of a mess. I've seen that there's a number out there, even though the number is not quite clear, that there could be up to 7 billion animal deaths a year in crop fields and stuff. But 7.3 billion, when we consider the animal population, that means that is like one or even less than one animal a year per person, and we're killing trillions of animals a year directly for food. So plus all those who may die in crop fields to feed the animals. And there's also the fact that the animals also stomp on insects and stuff while they're
Yeah.
roaming the field or something like that. So there's a whole bunch of stuff to consider, but it's not. That's just a utilitarian calculation as well. That's not what veganism represents. We're trying to free the animals from their slavery, and so that's why we're vegans. It's not about reducing suffering, because you're not going to. It not only does it lead to some horrible thing where you're like, okay, so to reduce suffering, I'm just going to stay in my room and not even like go.
Yeah.
No, that's
I was
not.
like
That's
that
not what.
at some point.
Yeah, that's not what veganism is about, because you can't avoid suffering altogether. But what we can do is we can completely set these animals free. That's something that is not only plausible, but it is achievable. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to end the animal's status as things, as commodities, items, resources, and set them free from humans. That's the first thing. Then we can talk about, oh, well, but these animals die for this and these animals die for that. Because then it would be like, oh, you can't drive because you kill insects when you're driving, or you hit a dog on the road.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So it's wrong to drive if you're going to the movies, for example. It would be more immoral to drive going to the cinema to see a movie than it would be to drive to get food for, I don't know, something like that, you know? And we start with this nonsense that leads nowhere. So it's not, that's not the conversation here. Like, the conversation is, we have these animal slaves that we need to set free.
Yeah.
So those animals in the fields and stuff, any of those animals who go there and dies for some reason, even accidental or something, they weren't ours to begin with. They're not our slaves or anything like that. We didn't bring them into existence, and it's a tragedy. Of course, we would not want it to happen, but in the meantime, that's the best answer that we got uh, at the time. Obviously, we want to develop better ways to harvest crops and to avoid all of that. But in the meantime, this is the best we can do.
Yeah. Yeah. Because yeah, at first when I started thinking about going vegan was because of this guy, the cosmic skeptic, and after everything fell apart, it was very disappointing.
Ah,
But
right,
but
yeah,
at least I'm still thinking that way.
right. So, yeah, I mean, the Alex O'Connor thing happened also, and you know how it was. It was just terrible, because at first the thing is, um, I used to follow him because of the atheist content and stuff, you
I'm
know.
still,
So I was kind of a fan of his.
yeah, yeah,
But then the guy started also like kind of wobbling a bit with the thing. He started like, I don't know, like this atheist thing. I was like, bro, stop being a pick me atheist. Just tell the Christians you're dumb and your religion is ridiculous. You're wearing a robe and eating some cookie thing and thinking it's Christ's body. What the hell?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but you know, but I don't know. The thing is that, but the guy was like, and this. I also follow this other guy, the genetically modified skeptic. I don't know if you've seen that guy.
No, I haven't
He's
seen.
friends with O'Connor, also the another atheist.
Okay.
uh, but
Maybe I.
sometimes they confuse the two because they're very similar. Like the other guy is called genetically modified skeptic, but
Okay.
they're yeah, but and they're friends. But yeah, it's another atheist on YouTube and stuff, and they've made videos together too. So when I saw that video of Alex, the one that is called like a meat eater's case for veganism, something like that, I was like, wow. So this guy's like considering this thing, like, hey, this could happen. Like, if this guy's thinking of this, then there's hope, you know.
Yeah.
And then the guy went vegan apparently. I don't know. And then he didn't. Then he was like, no, I'm not vegan anymore.
But
Uh,
he was like very into it, like kind of like activist, and I was like, yeah, that's the whole point of this. But
right.
then,
But
yeah,
no, I mean, the guy was more, I don't know if activist. He started talking about veganism and stuff and giving lectures and whatnot,
yeah, yeah.
but he never presented like the case. He never presented veganism as the thing that it actually is. Like he's always presented it with the utilitarian argument of the suffering and all that thing, not the liberation part of it. So at the end, when he declared himself not a vegan anymore, I was like not really surprised. I was like, yeah, I was expecting it
I
because
was.
at some point he made a video where he said like something about animals not having rights. He also started asking some weird questions like, what if you have sex with an animal? There's a possibility that the animal likes it. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? Like, no, stop that nonsense. No. And the guy now hangs out with Peter Singer and whatnot. Peter Singer is just the worst. He's just
Why?
awful. So John Doe is asking, apparently he has a question for you. I don't know if you've seen it. Which meat-free meals do you already eat? You can expand from that and find more vegan meals. Yeah, exactly. Is there anything vegan that you can eat in a
Yeah, usually
meal?
lentils, like rice, um, pasta, and yeah, pretty much. Well, cheese, arepas with cheese.
Hmm, let me see. Gas Oakley vegan. Oh man, you know Gas Oakley? That guy's terrible.
No.
Oh, John Doe. Gas Oakley is getting 35,000 new subscribers a month.
And
That's ridiculous.
why
Gas
is
Oakley is just a terrible guy. It's another one of these. Oh, you can rescue a hen and take their eggs and whatnot. I'm like, no. So Revolta has a question for you. Was Alex the one making veganism an interesting subject to focus on? I mean, I'm not sure I follow this question. Maybe we were talking something about Alex. Let me see. Let me see. What do you mean exactly? I don't follow this question too much. I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, okay. So what were we talking about? Yeah. So this Alex, cosmics. No, yeah, no, we know cosmic skeptic, but
I
okay.
guess if Alex was like not an inspiration, but kind of like a subject to just talk about vegan and stuff, like
Mm.
if he was an inspiration or something to you, or in the vegan.
I mean, to me, no. Was he like an inspiration to you? Did you find like his speeches or something of that? Like you
Yeah,
consume something from him?
at some point, yeah. For me, yeah, but I just never. I don't have a YouTube channel or anything about that, so I just yeah start thinking like we should stop eating animals.
So John here, I think he's my cousin John. I think he is. Yes. The sopita de apio is the thing that gave it away. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Exactly. Well, yeah. So I mean, yeah. I mean, I can see why he would be an influential figure. Like, it's someone who was already influential to begin with. He says he's vegan, then many of his followers, they're gonna see what he says, and he's an authority, right? Because he's got this influence and whatnot. But then he's equally dangerous now because he went
Yeah.
not vegan and saying something like he didn't believe in that individual boycott anymore, or stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know, dude. You could have said anything else. Anything else would
Yeah.
have, you know.
Anything else but
Just
that?
say
Yeah.
something else. Just say, I don't know, but or don't say anything. Just seek help. But he didn't. And I know that many nutritionists and other experts were trying to reach out to him to give him like hints and stuff like, hey, dude, you can do this thing. This is a healthy choice that you can make with the food and stuff. Because he was citing some health issues and he didn't really want to talk to them. He blocked them and stuff. So obviously, the guy, to me, it was my theory is I have two theories. Either he saw the subject of veganism as something he could like
Like a trending
bank,
thing.
like he tried to bank on the veganism thing, and he jumped on the bandwagon, so to speak. Tried to get into the philosophical aspect, but not something that he really was like very passionate about the animals, you know.
Okay.
And the other thing is, I think he tried to change his diet for his digestive problems and stuff, and it didn't work. The change to a plant-based diet didn't do anything to alleviate his symptoms or whatever it was. And he said, well, if I'm going to have these symptoms anyway, I'd rather eat my fish and chips than eat this
Yeah.
broccoli or whatever. Like, if I'm gonna have the same problem, then so that's what I think happened. I don't really think anything else of him, you know.
Yeah. And why you said Peter Singer is the worst or it's not good?
Peter Singer is just another one of those. He also says that he's fine with like zoophilia and stuff like that, like
Oh, okay.
getting it on with a zebra or something. I don't know. I don't know. Like, why, dude? Like, don't let him go to a screening of Madagascar. You know.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And he's now congratulating McDonald's because now they have like this egg McMuffin with free range eggs, and I'm like, it's McDonald's. It's like the most
Yeah.
evil
The
corporation in the
worst.
world.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, why are you congratulating them? Like, man alive, it's terrible. And McDonald's, they did a test run of the McPlant, but in reality, I think they just made one. Someone didn't like it, and they were like, "No, we're not doing anymore," because
Yeah.
they didn't really do anything. I never saw the freaking McPlant here.
Yeah. Yeah.
They tried in like 6 restaurants or something. It's like ridiculous. That's not a test run,
Yeah.
but it's terrible. But
Impossible Whopper is the one I sometimes eat.
yeah, the Impossible. That one is still around in some places and stuff.
Yeah.
The Beyond started to also be in restaurants and stuff.
Okay.
In fact, there's a restaurant. I mean, I think they've gone bankrupt or something. Oh, they have the McPlant in like Austria. Yeah, in Austria, because that's the other thing. Like these companies, these American companies, they give all the McPlants and the stuff
The
in
better stuff
Europe.
to Europe.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, Europeans,
No,
you take the McPlant and stuff, but we, gringos, we're gonna eat
the
the,
junk,
the
very junk.
McRib and the Big Mac and whatnot. But you have to ask for it without mayo and cheese. Only the patty is plant based. Oh, that's ridiculous. Then that's not a McPlant. That's just a Mac scam. That's what it is. Yeah, it's a Mac scam. But I went to this place here. It was Fort Rockers, and they had an actual plant-based menu. And I was like, "What the hell? This is crazy!" I never saw any advertisement for it. But they had a full plant-based menu with plant-based nuggets, tenders. They had burgers, and even the bacon and the cheese were plant-based. And I was like, "What the hell is this?" And it was kind of crazy, but it was good. It was
Nice.
good, really. But that's the thing. In any case, I don't think any of those McPlants or anything are gonna make anyone go vegan. Really, plant-based, but they only refer to the patty. Yeah, exactly. Like it's not. But some places do have it. Here in Houston, there's a lot of Mexican places, and there's Mexican vegan places. So that's the thing that you can go to, like the Mexican vegan restaurants here. They're very good. They're very good. They're kind of far away. That's the other thing, because they're all at the same, like more to the location. I mean, obviously it makes sense that they're where the money is, really, not here where I live.
Yeah.
So obviously there in here there's just KFC and other ridiculous nonsense. But over there on that other sectors, where the money is, that's where those restaurants are, and they're really good. And yeah, who else? Hummus. Ah, yeah. Well, the Arabs also have a very vegan friendly cuisine, because with the falafel and the stuff, that's really, the
Almost.
hummus.
Yeah.
That's really easy. It's all based on like chickpeas and stuff. It's really good. But yeah, I don't know, Austin, like the vegan scene. Have you seen any like activists there? Have you seen any vegan happening there in?
No, not really. I've seen a guy, I think on YouTube that goes to rodeos and stuff. I think Ed something. Ed? No,
Who
Vegan Ed or something like that. The long hair guy
in
that
Austin?
sometimes he like confronts people and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna punch you if you don't stop" or something.
Wow, really? I need to see
Y-
that guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think
He
he's very famous. He's been out there for a while.
and he's in Austin.
No, just on YouTube. I've seen it on YouTube.
No, dude, but I mean, I mean in Austin. Like if something was happening in Austin,
No, 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 no.
no, it's
I
not
haven't
Erling
seen it.
Ed. Erling Ed doesn't threaten people with punching them in the face.
No, no, no. The like when he goes to rodeos and
Ah,
stuff, he's
no,
trying to like,
dude, that's Erling Ed. Like,
yeah, yeah. I'm Earthling Ed. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure you know him, right?
yeah, I mean that's the most famous vegan ever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly.
I'm telling you, if there's someone in Austin,
No,
not
no,
the
no.
most famous vegan guy.
Yeah, exactly. No, I live in Austin. Yeah, but
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's like, hey, dude, any footballer in like Austin? Yeah, I know that guy Messi. He's good,
no.
and Cristiano, and and
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, I'm not talking. I'm talking about your region, like specifically.
No, here not really.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a We the Free. There's an organization, but I thought they were in Austin, but they're actually
Leave
in
it free.
Dallas. They're in
Okay.
Dallas. I thought
And
they,
they
they
just
were in Austin.
go places to talk about animals and stuff, or what's there?
I mean, yeah, with the free, they do that. I haven't really gone here to any place to do that outreach stuff yet. In the name of tofu, hummus, and everything. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, Erling is far from polite today. Yeah, I mean,
No,
sure,
not
like,
him. He
yeah, no,
gets
no,
threatened
he
by
gets
the
stressed. Yeah, of course,
like,
yeah. I
like
saw him going to a rodeo here in
yeah,
yeah, sure, and all those cowboys, they wanted to
yeah.
beat
We're
beat the
gonna.
crap out of him.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
the guy
like,
that I
Ed,
was talking about.
what are you doing? Like, are you crazy? You're not going to survive that. Like
Yeah,
Texans, they shoot
like
first and ask questions never.
yeah.
So I was like, ugh. I was watching like this. Oh no, Ed.
No, he's gonna get killed.
Those cows,
Earth,
they're
Earthling.
huge like this, and they're
Yeah.
like, man alive. If they can, I mean, they basically body slam a cow. So what chance does Ed have?
Yeah. Yeah,
Really. Yeah, I saw him with those Cowboys. Ed did well. Yeah, he survived. I'm surprised he survived. I think they felt bad. They felt like, no, this guy's too skinny and stuff. We can't take him. Like it would be like a shame for them to like take
yeah,
him on. But he survived for that. I think they didn't
yeah.
want to bully
It felt
such a
bad
guy.
for him.
Man, it would be freaking hilarious if we saw Erling Ed like on the street or something. That would be really, really funny.
But is he from here, like United States, or?
No, he's British. He's British
Oh, okay, okay.
from over there. Um, but it's freaking hilarious. It would be funny. But he's always traveling and stuff. In fact, he does spend a lot of time here in the U.S. going to universities and stuff and giving lectures and doing outreach in the campuses and stuff.
Okay, okay.
That's dangerous too because you don't know when some crazy guy is gonna go with a gun or something.
Yeah.
And like, hey, dude, what do you think about veganism? And the guy's like, I'm going to shoot everyone. He's like,
Yeah.
and then
Have to be prepared.
telling him like, is it legal? And then the guy like, I'll give you 3 seconds. And
Yeah.
then no, dude, it's like no. But yeah, I mean, he does it. He's like really, really brave because doing that it can't be easy, and having the
Yeah.
patience to deal with all the stuff that they tell him. That guy, you saw that guy who told him like, oh, if we go vegan in the states, then China is going to like invade us, and they're going to win because they have the bloodlust,
Oh,
and we
really?
don't. And stuff. And it's like what? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He wanted to eat meat because otherwise communism would take over, and it's
Yeah, like conspiracy,
like,
conspiracy.
dude, like really think about it. And it's crazy, but I actually kind of want to do that thing, that outreach thing. It would be hilarious to see. Um, yeah, they're saying that of course he's British. That's why he's so polite. Yeah, exactly, exactly. But yeah, I don't know what have you thought about what we've been talking today? Like, what you get any new perspective on the things that you were asking me?
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
do
At
you
least
think about that?
I have like new ways to respond to people that said something like, "Hey, about this and that." So I'm always curious, like, okay, what can I say in this point? So I asked like vegan people
Right.
about it.
Yeah, I mean, no, the thing to say is just consider the animals as soon as you consider the animals like individuals, everything else just falls into place naturally because from that you logically follow this other stuff. It's like, okay, if I'm seeing the animal as someone rather than something, obviously I'm going to respect them. I'm going to respect their life, their right to exist for their own purposes and not for mine. So I'm not going to try to
Yeah,
take anything from them. So that's basically what veganism is trying to do, is end the status of animals as things and just not mess with them anymore.
yeah, yeah,
Humans are weak and fragile, but that same people say we're too militant and pushy. Yeah, how do we get the energy to yell at people and scream and do all these things if we're so weak and stuff? Yeah, for sure.
no, but there's like NFL players that are vegans and they're not weak at all. So
I
that's
mean,
not a
they are. Yeah, I mean, they're eating like a plant based diet and stuff. I don't know if many of them are like
no.
ethical vegans as it is. Like, I think they're just like eating a plant based meal or something.
Okay,
Because even to play football, if you were vegan, you would have to either quit or demand that they change the sporting equipment because there's animal stuff in the sporting equipment for sure.
yeah,
Like the football itself is like made with animal parts and stuff. I thought it was synthetic, but apparently it's not 100% synthetic, which really I hate it because I'm a big sports guy and I like sports,
yeah.
and tennis is not vegan. That's my favorite sport, and realizing that tennis is not vegan is like
Why it's not? Or
no, because apparently the strings of the racket, they're made with like animal
oh,
guts, and the The
Avo-
ball, the
Avocados.
fuzzy yellow ball, is from sheep's wool. So I was like, what the heck? Why is this? Like, it doesn't even make sense. There's like synthetic materials, and they should be cheaper to make and everything. So why are they not doing that? The NBA, the basketball is not vegan. Even the shoes are mostly, some of them are not vegan. I know. I think Adidas and others, they use like kangaroo leather or something like that.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. It's like, why are you doing any of this? Like, it
What
doesn't even
about
make sense.
F1? Do
The
you
what?
you should F1 Formula One?
F1.
I know Lewis Hamilton. I think it's
I mean,
vegan.
Lewis Hamilton is a vegan.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely, he's vegan. He's not just some plant-based guy. He's like vegan,
Okay.
vegan. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, there's many things to consider with the Formula One, because I think tires are not entirely uh, animal-free. I think tires have some residual thing from animals or something.
Okay.
But I don't know. And then there's the fact that the Formula One gets a whole bunch of sponsors and stuff that may
Yeah.
not be the most ethical or anything like that, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the guy Lewis Hamilton, for sure, yeah, that guy's vegan.
Yeah.
Um, any other sports guy? I mean, I know Novak Djokovic is mostly
Yeah.
plant based, but he's not vegan. Vegan. He's plant based with some like he could be, but
Flexitarian.
not entirely vegan. But he does eat a completely plant based, gluten free and stuff. And as soon as he changed his diet, he started winning every match. So
Yeah. That's like
so
good
maybe
point for
something
vegan.
happened there. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Vegans in sports shouldn't quit at all. That's how they make changes. Look at Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, no, I'm saying that.
Exactly.
I mean, we don't live in a vegan world. Yeah, sure. That all tires. I mean, yeah, tires. The thing with tires is they do have there's something in them. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like to make them more I don't know, like more durable and stuff. And I know it's like from animals. I don't know the exact thing what it is, but yeah, there's something there. But that's something that you can't avoid. It's like not like you're going to be like, oh well, tires are not vegan, so I'm walking everywhere, even if it's 10 hours from here.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make any sense. Like you do what you
Yeah.
can, and there's some things that you cannot control that escape you. Like that's not something that we're going to. But yeah, I like this point from my friend here saying that vegans in sports shouldn't quit because that's how they make changes. Like, yeah, sure, for sure. And is there anything stopping you from switching to a plant-based diet? Says John Doe.
Yeah.
That's
Well, like I said in the beginning, like the convenience of, because if I'm vegan, I think I'll have to think all the time, like, what am I gonna eat? What am I gonna eat? Like, and pretty much because I tried it before for like a month or something, or 2 months, and I felt that way because everywhere I went, it was like whatever I could eat just like on the go was like either like meat or, yeah, or I have to wait until, like, I had to plan ahead to buy groceries to just take wherever I go.
I
But
mean,
yeah, I can do it for sure. But it's
I
just,
mean, it could be, but like I said, you can always go to some grocery store, get like a few apples or something, and grab some apple on the go or banana. Bananas are ready. You don't even have to wash them.
yeah, yeah,
Just peel them and eat the inside part.
yeah,
And there's always some stuff. I mean, the on the go stuff. They're saying you can do it. Yes, they're encouraging you to go fully plant
yeah.
based, of course. So yeah, I mean, it's kind
Also,
of it's kind of a weird thing because what were you going to say?
my surroundings. If I surround, like, if I always get on with my sisters and surround with them, I'm sure I will eat a plant based. But it's like if I surround with more vegan people all around me, it wouldn't be a problem at all because that's what pretty much all what we're gonna eat. But if it's like, I don't know, my cousins and my friends or something, it shouldn't be like vegan. So they usually eat meat. So I'm like, okay. But sometimes they when they offer me food, and I don't want to say like, oh no, I just eat it. But yeah,
I mean, but that's
that's
basically
on
you
me.
not,
Yeah,
yeah, that's you basically not considering like the animals at that point. Like it's not a point of what
because
they're
they
doing
already,
or like a social thing, because it's like if you're with your cousins and you know they're meat eaters or something, you can always do the vegan thing, which is to eat at home prior to going with them, or take your own stuff there and be like, yeah, I'm eating my
yeah,
stuff,
that's what my
and,
sister does all the time.
and you eat like this.
Yeah,
The whole time.
yeah, but sometimes like whenever I'm at my wife's parents' house, they just gave me food like already, of course, prepared, and I'm like, okay, I can eat it. But it's not like I cook like meat here in my house. It's
I see.
usually whenever I go like
Yeah,
somewhere else.
yeah, but somewhere else, the animal still was,
Yeah, yeah, but
abused
like
for it. So,
it's like they already killed the animal, and I don't want to be rude, but it's kind of silly on me to say like, hey, no, like it shouldn't be like I'm being rude. It should be just like I just don't eat meat, but I'm still like trying to not get that feeling of rejecting the food and think I'm being rude.
I mean, the other thing is to consider this. If you start going that route and you say, hey, you know what? Thank you. I understand. I don't know for the gesture, or whatever, but for these reasons, I'm not going to consume this and whatnot. Maybe you start something up. Maybe they start seeing something they would never consider if you don't talk to them. It
Yeah, no,
seems
but
like a far-fetched thing, but it can happen.
they already know that I'm trying that I usually don't eat meat here in my house, and that's why they always offer like, "Hey, do you want to eat this or something?" And I'm like, "Okay, I can."
And yeah, and that's the other thing. Yeah, they're saying here in the comments, that's the other thing that's gonna happen. Like sometimes when you go to those meetings and stuff, if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
say all the time, "Hey, I'm not eating animals. I think this is not ethical," or whatever you say to them, they're gonna start. At first, they're going to forget it. They're gonna, oh right, I didn't remember that you don't eat animals and stuff, because it happens at first. It happened to me a bunch of times. Like they're like
yeah,
preparing their meals and stuff, and they're like, "Oh right, you don't eat meat." Like,
yeah.
listen to me.
Really?
I've told you this like countless times now. It's not something you just forget. Oh yeah, no, no.
Yeah,
So they start taking you into consideration, and they start, at least for you, they start preparing something different to you and stuff. But then it might be that they themselves start thinking something that they never would have considered if you don't talk to them. That's the
yeah,
other
yeah,
thing, like creating change through example.
yeah. Exactly.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be honest in this regard. I have not had much luck with my family in this regard. I try to lead by example, try to tell them, hey, this is not this, but I don't know. They're mostly set in their ways or whatever. They're like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's, I mean, even Earthling Ed hasn't made his parents go vegan. So some people do make the some people have cracked the code of making like their parents or their relatives and stuff, but it's kind of, that's like the ultimate challenge really, because family and friends, they're not going to listen to you the same way, I guess, because they know you, so you don't have that authority
Yeah,
over them.
authority
It's
thing.
like you're just some guy that I know, like why would I listen to this? But if they see it on, like, I don't know, TikTok or whatever,
Yeah,
someone doing like a dance, like
go
going
vegan,
like
go
this,
vegan.
and it says don't eat animals or something, they're like, oh, I saw it on TikTok, we have to not
Yeah,
eat animals anymore. And you're like, God, I've been saying
jeez.
this for years. And now you saw it on TikTok, some dance, and now you're like, ah, bah. I mean,
Yeah,
it can happen, yeah. Yeah, so that's the other thing. So I also have more like, but yeah, I mean, that's what I do. I mean, when I have to go to some family gathering or whatever, obviously I'm annoyed. I try to eat at home first before going, because I know they're probably not going to have anything for me. Or,
yeah,
uh, or
Do you
If
take your food?
I happen to be lucky and they have some chips and guac, then hell yeah, I'm
Chips and
like,
what?
that's
Yeah.
it.
But do you
Yeah.
usually take your like food to wherever you're going? Like you?
I usually don't really take the food wherever I'm going. I just eat it here and then I just go to the other place.
Okay, okay.
Sometimes I do bring it. I once brought like I even brought some beans and some plant-based cheese and stuff because they were going to make like tacos and stuff. So I
Okay.
was like, hey, I want my tacos to be like really, really awesome. So I brought my own plant-based cheese and plant-based beans and stuff like that. The vegan refried beans.
Okay.
Because refried beans, I don't know if you know, but refried beans, sometimes they're not vegan because they make them with the lard. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so but I there's cans of refried beans. I find that at Walmart they're really not expensive and they're really good and they're vegan. They're labeled vegan refried beans, so they're really easy to find in the Hispanic foods section. So it's really fine. It's really easy.
And what about on Thanksgiving? Do you usually like what do you usually eat on Thanksgiving?
Oh, Thanksgiving. Okay, this is what I do. I don't go with my family to Thanksgiving.
Oh,
I
really?
tell them go f yourselves. Like, no, I'm not because Thanksgiving. I mean, I go to like their birthdays and stuff because it's like okay, it's their birthday, whatever. But Thanksgiving, that's like the most ridiculous. That's not a festivity. I don't know. And it's all centered around the massacring and eating
Yeah,
a turkey.
I
So
don't
it's
get it.
like, no, why would I celebrate something that celebrates the horrible massacre of an innocent creature? So no, no, I don't go to Thanksgiving. I did do something last year. I bought one of those tofurkeys, the Gardein tofurkey. It was really good.
Okay.
That tofurkey was really. I mean, it's kind of expensive, but it's a one-time thing a year.
Yeah.
So it's like $14, but it's really good. It's like this massive thing, and you can, you put in the oven, and it comes with gravy and everything. It's freaking awesome. It already comes with the stuffing and stuff. It's really good. It's really really good. I thought it was going to be not that. I was like, it's kind of looks kind of weird, but no, it really is surprisingly good. Really, like, I was like, hey, yeah, this is
Nice.
tasty. I would have it more often, but it is kind of pricey, but it's good. And for one time a year, it's not really that something that's expensive or anything. But yeah, you can do all of that. Like uh, a ver, yeah, yeah, I haven't eaten meat in 49 years. Wow, this Martin Kevin guy. Wow, basically half a century with no meat.
Still
That's
going
great.
strong. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 3 years vegan in March. All right, so my family is insane. Ah, yeah, Ali, yeah. So yeah, so that's the thing. Like, it's the changes that you make because you know what the animals are going through. You know that they have it even worse, and for convenience and stuff. I mean, there's even some Taco Bell that you can get on the go or whatever, like a bean burrito and stuff. Just make it with no cheese and grab it on the go wherever. Like, even that's an option. It's not the best because obviously it's still like Taco Bell, so
Yeah.
it's still going to punch a hole in your stomach.
Yeah. Somehow.
But, you know, so yeah, but it still is like something. In fact, when sometimes I do get some bean burrito or something, and that's it. Like, whatever, something like that. I was a vegetarian for 40 years and went vegan the last 9. That's great.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's kind of the thing. And your sisters, well, you did tell me about that sister that wants to says that they would eat cheese in the cow and whatnot. You
Yeah.
know,
What?
no, tell her what we talked about. Like, hey, no, this guy says eat
Yes,
cheese.
she probably watched the video.
Nice. Well, my greetings to them. So yeah, hi, Barry's sisters. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So no, it's like that. You just consider the animal, and that's when. everything comes from there. Like, I never really think it's like when you were asking me before, like those flavors and stuff. I mean, like the flavor and texture and stuff. Maybe I wanna have it again or something, but not from animals, of course. Like from animals, absolutely not. If I could get them from some weird plant thing that they made into a tequeño, then freak
Yeah,
yeah, let's have it. But if
yeah,
it's like the real thing, then no, get the hell out of here. Like I don't want it.
yeah,
So it's kind of weird, but that's something that happens. Like when you consider the animal, then you don't think of those things as products anymore.
yeah,
Vegan Animal Defender 269. Hey, yeah, that guy's awesome. One of the great vegans out there for sure. So yeah, let me see. Hey, this talk has been really good. 1 hour and 20 minutes of a good chat.
yeah.
Those friends, because I never get to talk to it. I mean, my only like friend that I talk to about veganism is actually she's here in the chat as Revolta 269. She's my best friend, and we talk about veganism all the time because well, she's been vegan for longer than I have, obviously, more than a decade or something. So I only talk to her about it, but having someone else to talk to about this thing, man,
Probably.
I need to talk about it. Like nobody wants to listen to it. And I'm like, no, I need to say it. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a thing that I want everyone to know about. With Eddie, I think the predator thing is a weird position, and you were the voice of reason. Of course I was, La Graffinuccio. Of course I was. That's just a crazy position from this debate, bros. Why is he still relevant? He was never vegan. Yeah, because my friend here and we were kind of like, fans of the Alex O'Connor guy. And, but then he kind of went weird. He said, I don't know, I'm not vegan anymore. I want to date Michaela Peterson. And it didn't even happen. I don't know. I don't think he even got that anyway. Your friend returns, AJ. Yes, I really like these kinds of conversations. Vegans and non-vegans is awesome. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And like I was saying, so that's just the first thing to consider. Just consider the animal, and everything will fall into place from that. Like, just think, if I were the animal, what would happen? Would I
Yeah.
like these things to
Exactly.
be done or not? Like, oh, it's your convenience. Yeah, thank you. Like, no, obviously not. Right? So,
Of
so
course.
it's like you can't go to a pig or a
Yeah.
cow and tell them, hey, it's my convenience, so you're going to die.
It's
Right?
easier. Yeah. No.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that. But yeah, unable to be vegan in Paris though. Yeah, yeah.
That's just nonsense. Like in the like vegan. I don't know how about Paris, but I'm guessing like there should be a lot of options in Paris,
I
like
mean, yeah,
vegan options.
Paris.
So
I mean, the baguette, their flagship bread is freaking vegan. So I don't know, man. Like you can eat bread like it's French. I mean, wow, going to
it's
France and
just
saying what
nonsense.
that's ridiculous. But there's vegans even in Tanzania and stuff. So to say that you can't be vegan in France, that's just ridiculous.
Yep, nonsense.
Exactly, baguette. Yeah.
Nonsense.
So I don't know. I mean, but yeah, thinking about our country of Venezuela, it would be kind of interesting to see like veganism take place there. But we know that because of the horrible thing with the horrible government and stuff that we have, I don't know. It would be hilarious if those guys go vegan. Really,
Can you imagine
would you imagine this? Maduro going vegan.
Nicolas Maduro promoting vegan? No,
Veganism, right?
at least the
Like,
one
hey,
good thing they.
Travis appeared to me in a dream and said, "Stop hurting animals." And
Yeah,
that would be hilarious, man. That would be hilarious. It would be great, actually, if it happened. I'd be for it. I'd be like, dude, at least you do something right in your life. It would be
yeah,
hilarious if it happened, really. Yeah, yeah, of course. Not a fan of vegan games, but his reaction to Cosmic Skeptic. I mean, that reaction by Gaines. Have you seen that? You seen the reaction vegan Gaines reacting to Cosmic Skeptic? Cosmic Skeptic?
No.
Dude, you have to
Well,
see that video.
maybe I have because after he said he was no longer, I saw like so many videos about like one like vegan
Right, right.
people
But you know,
trashing
Gaines is the top one. To me, Gaines is like
vegan
the
games.
best one. His
Okay.
reaction to Cosmic, it was just perfect. It was perfect. I've never laughed so hard in my life with anything else. It's like the funniest thing I've seen in my life.
Oh.
Oh, Revolte saying vegan cocosete. Man,
Ooh.
like, you know what I hate? All those Venezuelan candies are not vegan.
Pirulin, no?
No, pirulin is not vegan, bro. How is it going to
Oh.
be vegan? It has chocolate with milk.
Chocolate milk. Yeah, yeah.
So it's like,
That's hard.
it's a, it really is like, why? You know?
And I guess that's another thing that is stopping me from just become vegan now that I think that way. Like the taste of those candies, you know how good they are.
I
So
mean, they
I'll
taste
have
good.
to
I
quit.
mean, it's not a denial of taste. Obviously, those candies taste really good, and you know
Yeah.
we're accustomed to them because that's what we grew up with. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
the cocosete, sushi, and my favorite was cri cri and chocolate
Yeah.
con leche. They were, well, actually, my favorite was one that you probably never knew. What it was, rocolate.
Oh,
Rocolate was
okay. Yeah, yeah.
the absolute best
Top.
ever. It got discontinued, but the thing is those products, obviously, when you realize what they are, what they have in them, it's like I hate it. And now at Walmart there's like a Venezuelan section. There's a whole bunch of cocosete,
Oh,
sushi,
really?
samba. At least Maltin Polar is vegan, so there's that, and I am a fan
Oh,
of
okay.
Maltin Polar, so I get the Maltin Polar, yeah. But then the other ones, they're not. So I hate that because they could easily make them vegan. Imagine vegan cocosete, vegan sushi, vegan samba.
Yeah.
That would be freaking awesome. I'd be like, wow, that this is crazy.
Maybe in the future.
Maybe, who knows? You know, maybe some
Yeah.
entrepreneurial guy. Maybe it's gonna be us. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, maybe
Can you
it could
imagine?
be. You never know who could bring this thing together. Yeah. Oh, this guy, he told LBL's stream to come over to this. Great, great. Thank you for that. Oh, lifting vegan logic, that guy. I mean, I would recommend that you watch his nutrition content because he does know more about nutrition, the nutritional side of it. So if you're trying to go to like to exercise and you're concerned with like the protein and the stuff, he knows about it. He knows about all the proteins and the stuff. And
LBL.
there's also Mike the vegan. He knows about nutrition too.
Mike the
There's,
vegan.
yeah, Hench Herbivore. I would recommend Hench Herbivore because that guy, he's like a muscle bound guy and he's vegan and he can tell you all about the nutritional side, the exercises and stuff like that. So yeah, you could get that side of the plant based thing if that's something that you're concerned with, you know.
Okay, okay.
For sure, he was just in it for the money, fame. Who? What's happening in the chat? Yeah, Cosmic Skeptic took way too much attention. Oh, ethically based ex omnivore is here, another friend of the house. Yeah, Cosmic Skeptic was way too much. Yeah. Andres Barrientos is, does he have a nick? Yes, we call him Barry.
Barre.
It's like getting dumped by soulmate. You just have to live without your cocosete, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like your crush said no or something. It's like, oh no, why? But in reality, I'm not suffering. I know the cows are. So, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't matter to me if I'm not getting. In fact, I was never really such a fan. I mean, Cocosete wasn't my favorite thing. So I'm okay with that. Now, Cri Cri, I did like. Cri Cri, I did like it. And Chocolate con leche was my other favorite. But I'm okay. I'm like, you know what? F you. I don't need you.
Yeah.
Also, there's the chicha with like canela sauce. It's like,
Ugh.
what the fuck? But absolutely
Yes.
not. That's disgusting now. I'm like, what the hell? Blech. No, take this thing out of here.
Really?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not sure. He was just saying, yeah. Lifting nutrition logic. Yeah, exactly.
15
Hench,
nutrition.
herbivore. Yeah, when you watch Cosmic Skeptic. The age about being vegan, like yeah. Howdy, AJ. Yeah, EBO in the house. But yeah, that's the thing, you know. So if you're concerned with like the nutritional side of things or the exercise and stuff, there's always some vegans that do that type of stuff. I mostly just do the ethical side of it. I'm a junk food vegan, so I eat those Beyond burgers and stuff like that, and pasta and stuff. In fact, that's what I'm going to have for dinner in a
Pasta.
while. I'm gonna eat some pasta and bread and stuff like that. And nutritional yeast, of course. And I put
Nice.
nutritional yeast all over the kitchen. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like 2 kilos of nooch, and it's never enough nooch. It doesn't exist. There's no such
Mm,
too much.
have to
So
give it
yeah,
a
I
try.
mean that's the nutritional side of it, but the ethical side is what's most important, really, especially at first. Then you can figure all that stuff out. The other thing that I would tell you is obviously now in terms of convenience, of course, it's let's say more difficult right now because there's too few of us and we're all scattered all over the place. But as much as this thing becomes like more popular, more people go vegan, it's gonna be more accessible for sure everywhere, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be at least it's being more talked about and people are aware of it.
Yeah, yeah,
For
for
sure
sure.
they're more aware of veganism and plant-based and stuff like that, so at least they're knowing about it, maybe not in the best way because sometimes people get some weird ideas about it. There's still many myths surrounding the whole thing, but like the protein thing or the B12 or stuff like that, but those are just myths that are easily discarded because it doesn't have any base in reality. Like vegans get all the nutrition that we need. It's just that if you're going to exercise and stuff, you probably would need. There's some vegan powders and stuff for like protein powders and everything. So
Okay.
in fact, I have a cousin that's working out, and the his trainer recommended the plant-based
Really?
protein. I was like, okay, and he's getting that one, and that guy
Okay.
is a complete meat flake. He's like, no, dude, always trying to make fun of me or whatever. And he said, hey, I
Hmm.
got this protein because that's what I was recommended and stuff. And I was like, yeah, you see, they recommended you the plant-based powder. You know how
Yeah.
should well vegan stop referring to reducing rights violations. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. There's many types of people out there, and some are talking about the reducing rights violations and stuff. But to me, it's not really about that. It's just not seeing animals as stuff for you or things that can produce something for you or give you something. They're there. They exist for themselves, and it's just respecting that and seeing them as individuals. That's all. So that's why I'm like, no, roadkill, absolutely not. Or animal who died, I don't know, happy. It doesn't matter to me if they died happy or sad or whatever. It makes no difference. They're not mine, and I know I can do something different. Exactly, not perceiving the animals. The other thing that could be kind of difficult at first, especially, is when you start considering, like, when I went vegan, I still had like a leather belt and a leather wallet. Now I replaced them not immediately, but in time I was like, oh, what do I do with this? I didn't know exactly what to do. And when I got the money to do so, I bought myself a vegan wallet and vegan belt, and that's it. The shoes, everything. I was like, okay, this, that, clothing, everything. It's that's the other thing. When you go vegan and people start giving you gifts for Christmas or birthday or something, you don't feel any joy. You feel like, what the hell are they giving me something not vegan? What is this? And I got a whole bunch of sweaters for Christmas, and I'm like, I don't even want to look at the label. I'm like, in fact, they actually, someone actually gave me a sweater. Well, it was from some polo club or something, and it had like the logo of the guy on top of the horse and stuff, and it's like the polo club. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. It's just sitting there, not doing anything. I didn't even like, no. I didn't say anything to them at first because they didn't give it to me directly. So I was just, hey, they sent you this. I was like, I look at the bag and I'm like, oh
Mm.
hell, what? No, some guy in a horse? No. And it says like Polo Club something. I'm like, no, I'm not going to wear something that glorifies the abuse of animals. So there's that. When you get gifts, now you're like, no, don't give me gifts, don't celebrate anything. Because it's like you don't know what they're gonna give you. So
Yeah,
it's like,
just gift cards,
yeah, just give me a gift card. Yeah,
gift
exactly,
cards, and
for
I'll
fifty
see what.
dollars and I'll see what I can do. I'll
Yeah.
buy $50 worth of nooch. Yeah. I agree, but I feel like they go hand in hand. Using animals as is a rights violation. I mean, it is a rights violation for sure, but you cannot just say, well, if the animal doesn't find out, then it's okay because they didn't see it. I mean, that's horrible. That's basically manipulating someone and making like a, yeah, like you're manipulating someone. Like, oh, they didn't find out. It's like when you tell some lie to a kid to get them to do something that you know. It's like, no, dude. Like, why are you doing this to animals? But yeah, that's mainly, mm, veganism is the animal rights movement. I mean, it is. But yeah, seems like the chat is getting a little bit heated. Let's see. But yeah, dude. So yeah, like we've talked about. So I don't know. There's anything else that you wanna ask or something that you always wanted to know about veganism?
Mm, do you usually like whenever you start being vegan, you feel like weak in the first week or something, or first month when you stop eating meat, or
Well, actually, this is what happened. The weird part is, I actually started to feel more energy.
oh really?
But that was because I
Nice.
started eating because I was eating completely healthy. Like I was eating
Oh, okay.
vegetables and fruits and stuff. I wasn't eating any Beyond or any pasta or I was just eating like the fruits, the veggies, the stuff. And I felt like more energized. And it was like I was like, what is this? I have like extra energy now. And
Yeah,
I was even losing weight and stuff. But then I found out that there was all this vegan junk food out there. And I was like, I gotta give me.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, actually, it can give you more energy because you don't feel this fullness that you feel when you eat some animal products. You feel this weight in like your stomach or something, and you feel like more like I don't know, like kind of sleepy and stuff. And you feel like oh, I don't know, but you don't get that feeling when you eat like broccoli and stuff. You don't get that because it's a lighter meal and you're just good to go. Like at work, I just eat like an apple or a banana or something like that, and I'm just good to go back to work with no problem. But if I eat
okay,
like even pasta, which is vegan technically, it gets you all that sleepy feeling, like you're full and you don't want to do anything. You just want
yeah,
to lay down, like, oh no, I just want to. No, but no,
yeah.
but no, definitely, yeah. You don't feel like weak. I felt more energized actually. At first, like I said, I felt more energized. So I don't know that thing about being weak. Maybe because some people they eat plant based and they try to eat like a too little of it, and maybe that's the problem because they're not getting the calories because plant foods are usually not calorie dense. So you're not getting that same level of energy because you're trying to eat the same portions but in plants and you have to
Yeah.
eat a little bit more plants to get that. But I don't know. It's like everything. It could be an adjustment period. Also, you know, you're getting out of eating this thing in which you used to rely. Like, oh yeah, I'll get a steak with some rice and some veggies on the side, and now you're replacing this chunk of meat or something for something else. Obviously, you could feel it at first, but then it's like it's not really anything.
Okay, you get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, I felt energized instead of weak or anything. It was kind of weird, but it was fun. I'm like, hey, I have more energy now. That's cool.
Nice.
And another weird, this is a weird side effect that I never expected. But I used to like brush my teeth like 10 times a day because of the bad breath and stuff. But since I went vegan, I have no.
Oh, okay.
That's completely ended. Like I'm like never. I never had bad breath. It's
Never
weird.
heard that.
It's really weird. I never expected that. And I told this to a cousin of mine who is an odontologist. He's a dentist. So he's like, and he told me, no, yeah, it's obviously because you don't have those residues of animal parts in
Oh,
your
okay.
teeth or your gums and stuff. So obviously you're going to not, because you have rotting chunks of flesh in your
Yeah.
mouth. So obviously it's gonna create this bad thing. And now you don't have that. So obviously, what about garlic bad breath? Yeah, garlic. I mean, yeah, if you eat hummus and stuff, for sure you're gonna have some breath. But it's easier to just brush, and it goes away easily. And when you go to sleep and you wake up, you don't have that morning breath thing.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of weird. It happened to me. I don't know if that's a thing that happens to everyone, but it happened to me. Like it was kind of weird. I used to like, yeah, no, I have to brush all the time, and now I'm like, that's crazy. I wake up the next day and I'm still fresh. So that's kind of crazy. I never expected that. And no one mentions that at all. So that was unexpected, but that was cool. I think it's funny. I don't know if you've seen that video of the guy who was like, I ate meat and finally after years I have an erection and whatnot. It's so ridiculous. Oh no, no, the guy was like, oh, I finally had like a wet dream. And so I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like I ate fish and had a wet dream. What? I guess the fish swims. Like I guess
Yes, yes.
what is this? Like I don't know. It's
Yeah.
weird. People say the weirdest things. Like no, I
Nonsense.
or like Miley Cyrus. Who was like, oh no, I was having brain fog, and then I ate fish, and now, lady,
Because
you
she was
listen to
vegan,
what?
right?
She was
Or
plant based or whatever.
trying to, or
Come
something.
on,
Yeah.
lady. It's like you're full of drugs. That's why you
Yeah.
have the brain fog. have
Yeah.
you seen that meme of Robert Downey Jr. like he goes like this, like
Yeah.
that says, oh, the Miley Cyrus drug dealer when she blamed the plant
Yeah.
based diet.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was really ridiculous. Oh man, alive, really. It's like, no, I don't know. I had brain fog and stuff. Yeah, it's not the drugs. It's the broccoli. Yeah, sure, lady. Yeah.
The broccoli.
Oh man, alive. It's hilarious. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's just what it is. So, say, I don't know if anyone else has any questions. Let's see. It's been really fun. Let me see.
Yep.
But yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's wrong. He's still viewing animals. Yeah, exactly. I brush ethically based. He says I brush my teeth with Thomas. Man alive.
Nice.
Imagine that I'm so big and I brush my teeth with Thomas. Yeah. And a celery stick instead of a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Like a celery stick. That might be the new vegan myth. Like people, no, those guys brush their teeth with hummus and a celery stick.
Celery. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no, that would be terrible. But I mean, it would be yummy, but terrible. Like
It's like,
definitely, and you do two things at once. Why not? You have breakfast and you brush at the same time. Problem solved.
yeah.
How do you know? Yeah, problematic in terms in how you're viewing animals and what could lead to. Okay, okay, I'll leave you guys with the debate, bro stuff. So yeah, and but yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of the thing. So see, so yeah, that's kind of like the thing that we could talk about. I don't know if there's anything else, but it's been great. It's been great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we can just leave. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can just. Where can we find Andres Barrientos? Well, you can find him in his house. You don't have any like a social media or anything like that, right?
Yeah. I have a YouTube channel, but more like for no, like irrelevant. It's concert videos and stuff.
Ah, all right. So it's nothing
And
like no, yeah.
no,
It's just like a personal thing that you have there for like personal stuff.
yeah, nothing like vegan related or something like that I post. It's just been
Ah, all
years that
right.
I haven't used it.
All
And
right.
yeah, I don't have Twitter or something or
Ah, all right. I
Instagram.
see. Yeah. Peter Singer's annual liberation as 20%. Oh, he says he uses the Peter
Why?
Singer's. Yeah. Uh, Animal Liberation is a book by Peter Singer.
Yeah,
He's.
yeah, I have that book, but why is that? Why is so bad, or why is it against?
I mean, the book itself is not bad. The problem is that the guy who wrote it
Oh,
is
okay,
says
okay,
a bunch of stuff that's not okay.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, the book is. I mean, I've heard good things of the book. Like the good is good, and you can see several things that you wouldn't consider before and stuff like that, and it helped a lot of people get a new perspective on things. But the problem is the guy himself is just not the best. How long has he been vegan? Has he done any activism? Well, Animal Defender, he is not a vegan. That's why we're scolding him right now
yeah,
and trying to get him to make a change for the better. So
yeah,
he's not vegan. Yeah, yeah. I'm talking to him like trying to do like enrich, as he called it,
yeah,
instead
yeah.
of outreach. Instead of me
Instead
going
of
out, I'm sitting here and talking to people.
yeah,
Enrich. I like it. Yeah, enrich.
yeah.
It might be a thing. I'll make a thing out of it. I'll do more enriched, of course. Oh no, exactly. Oh no, that's what I told him. But yeah,
Still working on it.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, so yeah, that's the thing. So that's it. So that's how I deal with the families and stuff. That's how I deal with it. I don't go to Thanksgiving, and then when they have a birthday or something, I'm like, okay, I'll go. The good thing is they don't offer me cake anymore, so that's good. They're like
Okay,
they don't even try. They're like, oh yeah, no, whatever. They
like
don't offer me any of
you're
that.
the weirdo.
Oh, the other thing is funny because Venezuelans. So obviously there's the arroz con leche. I said, no, get that thing out of my face. Which, now that I think about it, they could make a plant-based version of that. It's just
Yeah,
like
with oat milk or almond milk,
they could
maybe.
make some oat milk, arroz con leche. That could be awesome. Maybe I should
Yeah,
utilize that. Hmm. I will make
consider
it
it.
someday when I'm not lazy.
Yeah,
I'll make my own arroz con leche vegan. And I'll bring it to a party and I'll be like, hey, family, I made this one.
yeah, yeah. That
They'll
way
be like,
they can.
and they'll eat it. And I'll be like, bro, I was the vegan here. What are you doing? But yeah. And then there's the quesillo, of course. Quesillo used to be
Yeah,
like my favorite thing, like favorite sweet thing. Every birthday or something, instead of the cake, instead of anything else, I'd be all about the quesillo. But then, obviously, when I went vegan, I was like, no, get the hell out of here. I don't want this anymore. So yeah, I mean, it's an adjustment, but it's something that doesn't really bother me because, like I said, I just consider the victims. So to me, I can't look at a quesillo anymore and see the product. I just see the animal that was abused for it, and I'm like, yeah, no. How does he justify? Ah, yeah, he says
I don't.
convenience, though.
I don't justify it. I know it's bad,
No, he
so
does.
there's
He
no
feels bad about
justification.
it, but he's got like a bucket of KFC behind the counter, and he's like, "No, I feel bad, guys. I really
I
do."
feel
And then, terrible, my man. That's not.
no, no. I don't
No, no,
justify it at all
I'm
because
kidding. No, no, he doesn't justify it. He knows it's wrong, and he's trying to make a change. That's why we're talking today to get him to help him out in this quest.
yep,
Accountable for exploiting animals. Then we are holding him accountable
yep,
with sarcastic comments and stuff. So yeah,
yep.
that's my style. I'm sarcastic. So he's
Yes,
exploiting animals. He is against it. Yes,
yes, but
yes.
it's kind of like I am, but I know it's hypocritical to say that I am, and I'm still eating them. So that's why it's not like, and that's it. I'm vegan. I'm still working on it. So
Right. Yeah. So now, will you watch Dominion or anything like that? Will you sit down and actually watch it? Because that's another thing. I tried what I call the Dominion challenge with my family and friends. I told them, several of them, for my birthday last year in July. I told them, uh, watch this thing for my birthday. That's the only thing I want as a gift. Just watch this documentary and tell me what you think about it and whatnot. Well, it's February of
Still.
next year. They haven't watched a thing. Instead of Dominion, they watched the Minions. And I'm like, dude, it's not. I didn't mean the yellow creatures. I meant the
Yeah, yeah.
documentary Dominion, not the Minions. What the hell are you watching? So they don't listen to me. But I'm telling you, if you're gonna watch the documentaries, I would say I did it like this. I watched Seaspiracy. That caught my attention, and I wanted to then watch Cowspiracy because it ended in piracy. So I was like, hey, Seaspiracy, Cowspiracy.
Conspiracy. Let me
I'm
write
like,
it
ah,
down.
let's watch this other one. Then that was the one that made me a vegan. We weren't born being calm down people. Yeah, exactly. Calm down a bit. And then need to watch Dominion. Then the Gary Yurovsky speech. Have you seen the Gary Yurovsky speech? Gary Yurovsky.
Maybe I've seen a speech that you sent me like whenever we talked like two,
Oh,
three
I
years
sent you a
ago.
speech. Yeah, did you watch that? That was last year, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I watched the speech.
Right. And
He
what
was
did you
like
think?
at a university or something or
Yeah, it was a
conference.
lecture at a place. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But
what did
yeah,
you think of it at the time or anything?
it's the same. Like they're just stating facts. Then we just need to do something about it.
Right,
But
exactly.
yeah, yeah. There's nothing like false about it. So it's just you have to change the way you see things and make a change in your life.
Right. What's stopping him? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Watch it again. I didn't watch Earthlings until nearly 8 years into beginnings. Yeah, that's the other thing. So I did it this way. I watched Seaspiracy, then I watched Cowspiracy, then what did I watch? I think then I watched Earthlings. Yeah, I watched Earthlings, but I will warn you this. Uh, yeah, watch it in that order because it's less. It goes from yeah, less brutal to more
Yeah,
brutal. It
yeah,
goes
yeah.
from
I
like, I
guess
don't know, Street Fighter to Mortal Kombat. So it's really,
fatalities.
yeah, the fatalities and stuff. Yeah, it goes to that. It's really, but I don't know, it's really eye opening, and those documentaries. Cowspiracy was the one that made me go vegan. It was a night where I just said, you know what, that's it. No more animals for this guy. I don't want to have a part in this anymore. And Earthlings, like I said, I watched it before I went, no, after I went vegan, and it was absolutely horrible. But like I said, I owe it to the animals, so I watched it. Didn't even close my eyes, didn't fast forward anything. I watched the whole thing from second one to the last one. And it's horrible, but it has to be done because if they go through it, the least we can do is see it, you know,
Yeah,
because they're the ones suffering it and we're the ones seeing it. So it's easier to see something than to actually experience it. It was horrible. Dominion is a good one. There's another one. It's good. It's narrated by Earthling Ed. It's Land of Hope and Glory. That one is also good.
land hope
Yeah,
and
Land
glory.
of Hope and Glory. That one is good. There's others that I haven't seen, but those are the best. And really, those are just the absolute best for me. And I don't know, man. Like Seaspiracy, the thing is, I used to be more like conscious about the animals, the sea creatures. It's weird because many people do it backwards. They start feeling something for the land animals, and then they go to the fish. But I was more like, no, no, stop hurting the fish and eating them,
Everything.
and Sea World, and this is wrong and that's wrong.
Yeah.
But then Seaspiracy, that was man, it's even worse than I thought. Like the reality is even worse than I thought. Then I watched Cowspiracy and all the rest. So yeah, so I would recommend those, and I would recommend like watching them with not only just your eyes open, but like really pay attention to what you're seeing and see the
Yeah.
reality. So yeah, definitely. And definitely try to seek out some vegan happenings in Austin. Like try to see on Facebook or Instagram or something if there's some happening. Some there's sometimes there's like a festival or some type of thing going. So
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
to look for those and see if you can attend something because it could happen that maybe there's some vegan happening in Austin.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
I've tried to go to those Anonymous for the Voiceless happenings here in Houston, but I'm always at work when it happens, and I'm like, oh no. I mean, I want to skip work to go there, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'll
Yeah.
probably do it at some point. I did. I don't know if you know this, but I did do a little bit of activism myself. I went to the NRG Stadium and I handed out these flyers about the monkeys in laboratories that were happening in the universities here. And it was a game. It was a college football game, uh,
Okay.
the Michigan versus University of Washington. And I was there at the entrance, like giving these flyers to people and stuff. And it was awesome. The people from PETA contacted me through another vegan, a friend of mine, vegan of course, Sky Jack Morgan from Vegan of course. Um, and he did the connection with the PETA people, and they had me going there, and it was a really good experience. So yeah, if there's some happening in Austin, definitely go to that. Try to see
Yeah.
vegan groups there, and try to see what you can learn from them, and all of that.
Hey, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Be right back.
Ah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, people. So, what have you thought about it? Has this conversation been good? I see there's some heat in the comments because let me see. Finuccio and someone else. Who's fighting who? Let's not fight too much, please, today. Titarian arguments but peers are beyond what's even normal for you. Yeah, I mean, right, right. You're right, Finuccio. I mean, Peter Singer is just a next level, really, really terrible. No one's fighting. No, I hope not. But you're okay. Now, when I say something, me and Animals are here with that. Dominion together, we can sure say that Dominion is so much better. Oh, right. Okay, I bet no one's fighting. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, we're here trying to talk, having a nice conversation with my
Yeah.
friend,
Back.
who's here to learn from us. So yeah, that's the only other thing I know from my time when vegan after watching Dominion. Yeah, that one is really good. So yeah, so the Dominion challenge. So my family hasn't seen Dominion, like I said. So try to watch it, and maybe we'll catch up later and see
Yeah.
at some other point. We'll maybe do another live stream and see. Hey, I've seen these documentaries, and what do you think now? And what's happening and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe something like that. So for now, okay, no fighting. Okay, you better not be fighting there. I don't know.
Huh.
And remember, if you're fighting against fight for who hates Alex O'Connor the most. That's a good fight. No, I think he's worse. No, I hate him the most. Yes.
Yeah. Mm.
All right. So, well, this has been really good. I think we can
Yeah. Yeah.
leave it up to here. I mean, it's been 2 hours basically. So, yeah, it's been really good. It's been great catching up with you and seeing you even
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the camera, all these years ago. So, it's fun.
After a long, long time. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, right. And who knew that we were going to talk about this thing?
That's
Crazy.
very weird.
We had this rock band back in Venezuela and whatever. We just talk about silly stuff, like memes and stuff and nine gag.
Yeah. Remember?
The memes, yeah.
And now we're talking about
Right, exactly. Now we're
real
talking about
things.
something that really, really important and stuff.
Yeah.
I
Really
like that.
matters.
So yeah, man. Like I said, I mean, I think I said it on the from WhatsApp and everything. But congratulations on your marriage and everything.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and my salutations to your family over there, and
Mm.
and all the happiness, and Go vegan,
Thanks.
dude. You know you have to. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm
try
sure.
to make
Some
it
point.
happen. So yeah. All right, man. So it's been great to see you, and it's been great seeing the people in the chat participate and everything. Thank you so much to everyone. It's been fun. So now we are cutting it at 2 hours. Yes, just 5 seconds, and we go.
All right.
Let me see. All right, people. So I think we can leave it up to here. And bye, Valves.
Mouse being used.
See you later.
Yes, yes, yes.
All
I'm
right,
aware.
Andres. See
All
you.
right. Bye.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye. Take care. All
Bye.
right, people. Bye.